All right, guys, Warriors, Dominic Izzo. It is Monday night, a little bit after 5 o'clock, and I'm going to take an opportunity. I want to talk about the events of one unbelievable roller coaster day, something that's going on. I posted not too long ago an extremely controversial post, which is offending everybody, but if anything, I want you guys to think about it. I truly, truly do. You know, I've been in and out of law enforcement since 2001. I've admitted it all the time. I'm a problem child. I'm an idealist. I always think about the true nature of law enforcement. I didn't take this job for a paycheck. I took this job to complete me. I truly believe that the greatest aspect of being a cop is to be able to better yourself as a human being. Period. That's the only reason anybody should ever want to be a cop. Because the more you help other people, the more you're able to help who you are grow. And we have to give back. You know, community, we have to be a part of them. That said, a lot of people were pissed off and offended and did not understand and comprehend what the hell I was saying in my last post. One of my posts earlier today was I sat there and I dwelled on the fact that I have part of a point system in my department, and I disagree with it to the nth degree. When you have three different types of officers. You got the new officers, you got the middle officers like me, and the guys who are getting ready to retire at the end. The guys who are getting ready to retire at the end, they take their times to calls. They milk stuff, as we call it. They're there for the paycheck. They're riding out a couple years. They're a wealth of experience, but they know better. The new guys, they're hot and gung-ho right off the bat. And I was. And when I came back at 37, 38, I was almost like a 40-year-old rookie all over again. So I was one of those new guys who had at it all the time, and I was arresting everything left and right. I knocked down more DUIs than my department had in 9 months than they had in 10 years with all their officers together. And I see how many more cops we've had killed in the last couple of days. How many more cops we've had killed in the last couple of days. And the bullshit of it is I took the blame on us, and I said that it's our fault. It's our fault as officers. And things that I want to address when I look at that post is, when I wrote that post, I thought of Blake Snyder. And I thought, how the hell could I ever look at his wife's face and say, we're at fault for your husband's death, for your husband being killed? And I thought of it more, and I thought, in some ripple of the pond way, all the arrests I did for bullshit little baggies of weed, for somebody, driving over the little yellow line, and then I went in their car, I smelled cannabis, and I took weed out, and the Hispanic male who doesn't have a valid driver's license, or he has a suspended driver's license, but he's got 5 kids to feed, and the only way he can get to work was to drive for that day, and I arrest him, court costs, court fines, tows his car, and I understand it's his fault. I understand it's the kid's fault who's got weed on him, all that stuff, but when you pressure and pressure and pressure and pressure these kids, these people, with these petty crimes that we have discretion over, it's like beating a dog. We're not government-paid revenue generators. And I was thinking about how many times I wanted stats. I wanted to prove to my department what I'm capable of doing. And when you put together a point system, you have what happens like in my department, where you get an officer who's brand new and he's not accumulating his points, so he pulls someone over, and there's a friggin' little pill in the car, and that person gets arrested. And it's legal. It's 100% legal. It's a controlled substance. It wasn't her pill, but that person's now got a felony on their record. I can't live with that. I can't live with that in a day and age where I live like a king. I'm at one of the poorest paid departments out in my county, but I live like a king compared to these people who daily don't have a pot to piss in. They don't have any money. So many of them don't have jobs. They're all crammed 6, 7, 8 into a 2-bedroom house. This is not my job. This is not the job I signed up for. And I've been begging and pleading my department for months on Can we get education? Can we get training? How else can we solve this? Do we really want to arrest a drunk that's walking down the middle of the road at 2 o'clock in the morning when the state statute says we can't? And I'm so fed up with this. And I told you my time in law enforcement is very, very, very nearing the end. So when you're not heard, sometimes you got to demand that you're being heard. So when you have part of the problem and you can be part of the solution, I chose to do what in my heart I think is right. For every one of you out there, every one of you cops who goes out there and because of something I did in my last 16 years by arresting someone with heroin who probably had such a drug problem they didn't know what they were going to do, and jail and fines aren't going to be the answer, and if the court is only going to chew them up and spit them out, then why aren't we getting them help? Why aren't we? Why are we doing this opioid initiative now in our county, but for years it's been arrest, 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 arrest. We've beaten the shit out of these people and fined them, and now you want to help people. Now these higher ups in our government are saying, no, we want people to come to you, the cops in the uniforms, who've you screwed over for years, and turn in their drugs and say, I will help you. Good luck with that. I didn't sign up for this job, swear this oath, and go to a town where I see people who have so far less than I do to harass these people, to stomp on their rights, to stop them at 2 o'clock in the morning if they're a gang member just to see where they're going, because there's not a fucking thing for them to do in that town other than walk around and clear their minds. So I demanded my chief's resignation today. I wrote down a very long list of reasons that unprofessionally I feel he's failing as a leader, as a police chief. And I can guarantee you this will be the end of my career. But understand something. I will fight until the day I'm dead for every patrol officer out there. Every patrol officer who does a job infinitely better than I do. And for all of you who are in my area who've never taken me seriously, Izzo's a joke, he's branding himself, he's trying to get attention. This is all done for you guys. For us. I have loved this job since I've taken it, but I've disagreed with the way that this has gone. And if we want change in this country, it has to start with us. We are public servants, not public punisher officers. Not revenue generators. And I can't sit by a second longer why new officers who receive no education are allowed to go out in the street and do unethical and immoral things while command staff justifies it by saying it's legal. So that's it. To clarify my last statement, if you don't understand the nature of law enforcement, how we have beaten these people over the years over and over and over again, and taken their money and not helped them and sent them to court, then I'm not doing this anymore. I will gladly accept being terminated because my ideal of a law enforcement officer is being there when people need us. Not stirring the pot when it's unwarranted because of a point system just to keep me off a midnight shift because I bidded for days, and that's the way for keeping me under the thumb for discipline. So, that's it. I demanded my chief's resignation today. I refuse to work for someone whose thumb is not on the pulse of what the people in my town who don't have a pot to piss in depend on us as officers to do. That's it. A lot more coming, guys. I've done this for you. I told you, my time in law enforcement is very, very at its end rope. But I'm going out my way, and it's as a service to the people that I love more than anything in the world. So I will always be there to serve, and I will always, always, always be there for these unbelievable men and women who can't speak the truth because of their command staff out there. So for every one of you who thinks I'm out there for myself, branding, narcissism, all this, or how I take the blame of myself, this is how this code of silence works. This is how this blue line works, this blue wall works, is everybody doesn't want to sit there and call out the cops are out there because the damn command staff will just turn the other way. And they'll label you the problem like they labeled me the problem. I'll own my shit any day of the week. I'm the biggest mouth cop out there, and I'm damn well proud of it. So that's it, guys. I'll see you on the next video. And we'll take this a different direction. But, you know what? Every cop out there, man, I have got your back.
Whistleblower cop who wants legal pot, running for sheriff of nation's second largest county. When Dominic Izzo first approached the Free Thought Project, he knew consenting to the interview would cost him his job as a police officer for the Round Lake Park, Illinois Police Department. After blowing the whistle on his boss, Police Chief George Filenko, his employment was terminated. However, that didn't stop Izzo from continually criticizing a man he believed to be inept, unqualified, and undeserving of his position as chief. Not content with sitting on the sidelines, Izzo has now set his sights on a new mission, becoming the police chief of Cook County, Illinois in 2018, the same county where Chicago is located. In a Facebook announcement Friday night, Izzo made the following statement, which one could say is quite confident. Decision made. I'm running for sheriff. And I'm going to win. Izzo for Cook County Sheriff 2018. Izzo successfully outed his boss as a heavy-handed and unethical police chief whose department spied on its officers using their own police-issued body cameras. But more importantly, he brought awareness to police corruption at the highest levels of a small-town police department, exposing how the PD and county sent an innocent woman to jail and arrested whistleblowers, like the coroner, who dared question their arrests and prosecutions. Flipping the script, Izzo now sees big city issues as something he thinks he can solve, on a county level. Taking on the responsibility of being the sheriff of Cook County, IL is no small endeavor. The county is home to 3.2 million residents, second only to Los Angeles County, and rife with what Izzo calls political corruption. Read more. Watch, Hero Cop tells the truth. Holding police accountable is not anti-cop, it's anti-Bulls T. Izzo has gone against the grain of trendsetters like sitting Attorney General Jeff Sessions, by saying weed really hasn't hurt anyone, has been used for years to fill jail cells and arrest quotas. In his post, he wrote about reducing the number of those in jail. I will create a reduction in incarceration, benefiting both the county residents and the inmates themselves via empowering officers and correcting the behavior of those who break the law. Izzo's decision to run for Cook County Sheriff seems to be due, at least in part, to the recent beating of 2 Cook County corrections officers. Izzo said the inmates stopped short of killing the officers, because they knew their limits, but the incident appeared to weigh heavy on his mind. He wrote, "They're not pre-trial detainees, they are inmates. Remove political correctness, call those who err what they are, and create an incentivized stigma for them to not err again. The goal of county holding/jail is to create a corrected, learned behavior through an environment of discipline and respect of those who run the facility, the corrections officers, so that a person will want to improve in society by learning to respect themselves and never want to return again." In true, in-your-face fashion, Izzo promises to end corruption in Cook County, if elected. It's still unclear how he intends to do so, but believing whistleblowers will likely be a start. Since his testimony of what was happening at the Round Lake Park Police Department was largely ignored by the majority and the village, this police officer promises to shake things up when and if he wins. He wrote, "Last night's statement was no impulse. It was fact. I'm putting all the corrupt of Cook County on notice, you have no clue the kind of war I'm bringing your way. You've never seen a candidate like me before. And you'd best get ready for the sheriff I will be and the warriors I will work for." #Izzo for Sheriff 2018. Izzo is also outspoken against the war on drugs and revenue generation by cops. Read more. Exclusive. Good cop speaks out against drug war, blows whistle on chief so now he's being fired. Izzo understands that the war on drugs creates criminals by making their personal choices illegal. According to Izzo, his courageous posts about the truth of the drug war on social media have led to numerous threats against him. Unfortunately, some officers cannot handle the truth. Izzo is also outspoken against certain police tactics that lead to the unnecessary deaths of so many unarmed people in America. But this cop not only talks the talk, he walks the walk. In 2015, Izzo was awarded Round Lake Park's Exceptional Duty Medal for the way he handled an extremely dangerous situation. On April 19, 2015, Izzo was confronted by an aggressive and distraught man armed with a knife, a situation in which other cops would almost instantly resort to deadly force. But not Izzo. When Izzo attempted to calm the man down, the man pulled a knife and approached him in a threatening manner. Instead of killing him, Izzo courageously disarmed the man without injury to either of them. A true hero indeed. Below is one of these videos in which Izzo blows the war on drugs and revenue collection wide open. The Free Thought Project is an apolitical organization which is more concerned with libertarian issues than who decides to run for political office. And while we respect Izzo for being a whistleblower and turning in his boss as a corrupt individual, we do not endorse Izzo for sheriff. We do, however, think it's pretty cool that a whistleblower could go from being rejected by his fellow boys in blue to potentially winning an election for sheriff of the nation's second most populated county. That's the kind of stuff which makes headlines.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt-free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.